Too easy? I
Um,
can make it harder. I can
no.
throw things at you.
Well, yeah, it's quite a venture. I'm heading out for Mount Kilimanjaro. I leave January 5th to arrive there the next day, and then we start out to hike up the mountain on January 7th. It's amazing to think that you're going to climb 5 days and come down in one. So, yeah, I just, I keep trying to picture this climb and what it's going to be like, and training and preparing myself mentally and physically. But, till you really get there, no one knows, right? And weather too. You're just not sure what you might face. It's the unknown, which is exciting.
One. So squat there, and then 2, 3.
Well, first of all, I made sure I got all my shots, which was a big ordeal to go there, and all the medication that I needed. There's going to be different things, malaria pills, and I had to take, we take some different pills while we're climbing if you need to, because you have to acclimatize as you're going up the mountain. You start to lose your oxygen levels. It becomes harder to breathe. So I've been preparing that way by taking the meds that I needed to, but also physically training. And by that I mean I've got a trainer, Brian, that I train with at Kingston Body Management once a week, who's totally been pushing me to my maximum endurance levels, and cardio as well, which has been great. And then I train 2 other nights a week out in Sydenham, at Sydenham High School, with the football coach in the gymnasium there. And it's also another very high impact circuit training, lots of cardio and strength as well. So that's been a pretty good balance. And then in between, I try to hike in Frontenac Park or get out at night, just to make sure you're walking a lot, and just to keep the focus of walking, because that's what you're going to be doing, is walking for 7-8 hours a day.
9, 10, 11. No more. This is easy. 12. Well, she actually came to us because her sister saw our company, Kingston Body Management, training one of the local hockey teams. And so they suggested that she come train with us. Personally, I've never climbed a mountain before, but I do understand the experience and physical demands on the body at climbing a mountain and doing high altitudes, and just what your body is going to be required to do and how it's going to be required to perform in those physical demanding conditions.
As a woman, she climbed Mount Kilimanjaro, so she's going to lend me her knapsack.
What kind is it?
You know what, I'm not exactly sure, but it is a woman's pack, so it'll be easier for me to
That's very important to
get
me.
on and off. Yeah.
When we do with any client, we always tailor our training specifically for them. So with Leslie, it was no different process than we typically go through. It was just kind of focusing on what she's doing. So a whole lot of cardio, not huge weights. I mean, she doesn't need to be strong when she climbs the mountain, but she needs to be able to do something for a really long, extended period of time. And also just on the mental capacity side of it, just for her to be able to just tell herself consistently that I can do it, and I will do it, and I can make this.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime.
A love-hate relationship. It's a lot of mental preparation too. Just, I want to do it, so I'm really trying to stay focused and do the things that I need to do to make this climb. And my family has been very, very supportive. I'm not sure if the reality has really set in yet for all of us, but as it's getting closer, there's a lot of emotions that are driving this climb. I think the biggest thing for me too is the reason for going. It's not only on a personal aspect of taking something back from the mountain for my personal, personal feeling of the climb, but it's also climbing for kids, and being able to see these children in an Amity house at the base of the hill when I'm up there, and look down and see them and know that I'm going to visit this orphanage, and be able to take funding there for these kids that are street kids that are housed there. And this is going to be an amazing, it's just going to be, I don't know what it's going to be. It's going to be so great to be there and be with them for a couple of days. And also to fundraise here locally too for the Limestone Learning Foundation, which I'm an active board member with. I think it's great to keep education, enhanced learning practices here alive in Kingston, and as well as in Africa, You don't want me to do anything in between? No?
Nope. So 10%, don't die.
I guess when I signed the waiver, that kind of set in, realizing that I better call my lawyer this week, you know, just to make sure everything's, you know, where it should be. Because, like I said, it's the unknown. You don't know what could happen while you're there. I'm not expecting anything to happen, but it's like it's life. Anything can happen any day in our lifetime, right? So I could. You know, anything could happen as far as even acute mountain sickness, which anyone can experience. And that's really out of, you know, something that's a little bit out of the control of oneself, right? You know, like I say, I'm preparing for the hike physically, but when you start to lose oxygen levels, things happen to the body, and it could be something that, you know, I'm not expecting, and I may have to come down. But I'm not anticipating that. I'm going to persevere it to the end. And even sleeping on the side of a mountain in a, you know, like it's going to be like you're on a big cliff sleeping in a tent with just what you've got with you. And, you know, that's going to be kind of weird too, laying on a hill sideways, trying to get comfortable at night. And we were told to definitely bring earplugs so that you could use these at night to block out sounds, because you do need to get your sleep. You know, you're in a different zone, and also just different noises, and it's you know, you're anxious, right? It's going to be a journey of a lifetime, an experience of a lifetime.
We'll go like a minute. I think she's got a great attitude towards it. I think she's gonna be able to do pretty well with it. I mean, providing how well you can predict someone climbing a mountain where it's an unpredictable environment. But she's pretty determined to be able to do this. She's progressing along really well. Her cardio is definitely improving, and she's definitely training what she needs to be training, doing the long walks, like we're talking, you know, 5 or 6 hour walks, and then the high intensity training that her and I do here.
Yeah, I think I've been working hard, but you know, you can always work harder, right? You know, so I really have to clamp down and get my gear out. That's been another thing, you know, getting the right gear, make sure you're going with the right equipment. You go through different terrains on the mountain. So, you know, we're going to start in the rainforest, probably lots of rain. As we're walking up, you're going to go through ice, you know, sleet. And the top is going to be snow. And coming down, there's a bit of the ash, so it's going to be a bit slippery coming down. So I'm trying to make sure I have the right equipment, and I've been very fortunate. A few people have lent me their equipment. I've gone to here locally to Trailhead and purchased quite a bit of equipment, and just making sure that I've got layers so that I can actually layer my clothing as I'm going up, and breaking my boots in. I've got the right boots, and yeah, just making sure that I'm doing all those things that I need to have, and something really warm for sleeping at night as well.
There as high as you can. Kick your left leg back, stand up, and then back down.
Kingston is a great community for support. Lots of people have been supporting me through funding, and I can't tell you, how much I appreciate all the efforts that everybody's put into helping me make this climb, and I'm really lucky to have Brian and Jimmy Latimer and Sydenham as well that have been helping me to do this. You know, I think that's what it's all about, is sharing the story. You want other people to do this climb. You want other people to experience this feat, and also to continue on fundraising and helping out over there as well. So I think it's a great story to share. And when I get back and I'm rested, I'd be glad to do that with you.
She might kill me 20 for kids. That's what I want.
Next.